Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you all are doing fantastic today, and welcome to our presentation on Amtrak vacations. We're going a really great topic today on our national parks series part 2 on our most popular national park here in the U.S., with the most visited national park, one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. That's right, I'm talking about the Grand Canyon. Got a lot of great information to go over with all of you today. Jump the shark a little. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Nick Bennell, and I have proudly been with Amtrak Vacations now for just about 6 years. A little bit about myself. I love rail travel. I've done quite a bit extensively throughout the United States, throughout Canada, and throughout Europe. So it's something I'm very excited and very passionate about. And I'm excited to be here with you all today to go over some of this great information. Definitely stay tuned towards the end of the presentation today, as well as because one lucky person will win a $100 Amtrak Vacations gift card. So definitely something to look forward to. Now, keep in mind, folks, we are in the midst of our pre-Black Friday sale. If you are trying to book a vacation package for 2019, this is your chance on some big savings. Essentially, if you book a package that's 6 to 8 nights long, you automatically get $200 off right off the top per couple, or if you do a package that's 9 nights long, you automatically get $500 off per couple. Definitely won't want to miss out on this, and this promotion is good until this Saturday, but I can tell you the phones have been ringing off the hook here. You don't want to miss your opportunity to ride with Amtrak in 2019. And don't forget to download the handout where that top arrow is pointing. It's actually going to have a lot of the great information on the pre-Black Friday sale. As well as if you have any questions throughout today's presentation, please feel free to input those into the questions box, and I will be more than happy to answer any questions towards the end of the presentation today. So let's hop right into it, and first and foremost, ask ourselves why Amtrak vacations? Well, there's several reasons for that. First and foremost, traveling by rail is a bucket list experience. In fact, we surveyed all of our travelers last year as to why they chose traveling with Amtrak and Amtrak vacations, and the number one consensus answer we kept seeing was that it was a bucket list trip. If you think about it, you all have done the ocean cruises. You've done the all-inclusives to Mexico, to the Caribbean, to Hawaii. You've gone to Walt Disney World. You've done those escorted tours through Europe and Asia. You've now conquered river cruising, and you're looking for that next adventure. Something fun, something different, something unique. The rail can satisfy each and every single one of those needs. There's room to roam. Take what you know about being cooped up in an airplane for hours on end where you can't get up and move around, or in a motor coach where you can't move at all. With Amtrak, it's the exact opposite. You're actually encouraged to freely move amongst the train. Get up, visit the cafe car, visit the dining car, or visit my personal favorite, the observation car. There's less hassle. There's none of this business about checking in 24 hours ahead of time, or paying for your checked luggage ahead of schedule, or showing up 2 to 3 hours before your departure. No. How does 45 minutes to an hour sound? I can tell you that is the average time that people will typically show up prior to the Amtrak departure, truly making it as hassle-free and as worry-free as possible. There's city to city service. Now, one thing I love about Amtrak is it goes from downtown to downtown. So there's no need for those long airport transfers. Sometimes you fly into a place and then after a several hour long flight, you have up to an hour long drive to get you to where you need to be. Well, with Amtrak, there's no need for it as we go from downtown to downtown typically. Look at New York Penn Station, for example. It's right in the heart of Midtown Manhattan. Look at Chicago Union Station, which is Amtrak's hub station. That's right in the heart of the loop of downtown Chicago. Or look at Los Angeles Union Station. It's right in the heart of downtown LA. We can put you all right where you want to be right off the bat so you can start your sightseeing and your vacationing off on the right foot. Satisfy your hunger. Now, this will touch base on just a little bit later. I just want you all to know that whenever you do upgrade to sleeping accommodations on board the trains, meals are automatically included. And you won't want to miss out on that as the food on Amtrak is fantastic. And lastly, flexibility. One of the best parts about our vacation packages is they have the ability to really operate on a daily basis. With just the exception of a couple of our seasonal national parks, almost every package we offer operates daily. So you can really travel when you want to travel. It's not like the escorted tours where there's select start dates or the cruises where there's select sailing dates. You can really travel when you want to travel. Now, I love showing this map because it really amazes me at how extensive Amtrak's system really is. In fact, Amtrak services 46 out of the 48 continental states here in the U.S., with the exceptions of South Dakota and Wyoming. And last year, Amtrak set their ridership record with over 32.5 million passengers. To put that into perspective, if Amtrak was an airline, they would have been the 6th most flown airline in the world. Definitely goes to show you that rail travel is in demand, and there's no time but now for you to experience it firsthand. Now, you might ask, Nick, where do these vacation packages start? Well, guess what? We can start at any of the 500 Amtrak stations throughout the United States or Canada. In fact, there's bound to be an Amtrak station nearby to your local station that will be able to start or end at any of the 500 Amtrak stations throughout the United States or Canada. Or if you want to, you can start at your start destination fly in, or you can fly home from your end destination. It's completely up to you. So keep that in mind. And there's stations literally everywhere. There's bound to be a station nearby your hometown. Now, one of my favorite things about traveling by rail is that you can skip the traffic and take the train. In fact, we have a saying we like to use around here. Why not take the road less traveled? That road being Amtrak. All you have to do is kick back, relax, and let us do the driving for you. Or how about this? You could choose the hotels that work best for your needs. In fact, we work with hotels that range from 3 to 5-star properties. So we have hotel properties that could really cater towards any type of traveler. We work with tons of hotels throughout the United States and Canada. A really great one. Do you not like to fly? I can tell you that Amtrak is the ideal way to travel and get to your vacation destinations, especially if you don't like to fly. I can tell you this slide right here speaks volumes to me, as my sister does not like to fly at all. In fact, she has to rely on taking the train to get to all of her vacation destinations. So definitely, if you don't like to fly, the train is your best option. Once again, where can I start my rail vacation? Once again, there's over 500 stations throughout the United States and Canada that you can start or end your vacation package at. I can tell you there's bound to be a station either in your hometown or nearby your hometown that you can start these train trips locally, as all these trips can be fully customized to your liking. Now, I've been mentioning customization. What exactly does this mean? Well, all of our packages really have the ability to be customized and tweaked to your liking. Perhaps maybe you want to add nights to a package or remove nights. Maybe you want to add a destination, remove a destination. Maybe you want to build a package from the ground up, but we might not necessarily offer it. Well, guess what, folks? We can do that. Another popular thing, what a lot of people do too, is perhaps combine vacation packages and make one big vacation package. Like this, for example. This is a really, really popular option. People take our Rails to the Grand Canyon package, which we'll touch base on in just a little bit. Perhaps maybe add a couple extra nights at the El Tovar Hotel while you're up at the South Rim. Now, the El Tovar is probably one of the most majestic lodges in any of our national parks, and we'll go over that in just a moment. And then maybe on the back end, you'll add in our Los Angeles getaway as well. Maybe do a couple nights in Los Angeles and a hotel, get some sightseeing, and really make it a well-rounded trip of both the Grand Canyon and Los Angeles. Another popular customization in combination is taking our Glacier National Park Express, which is 2 nights Chicago, 3 nights Glacier Park, and 2 nights in Seattle, and combining that with our Seattle, Vancouver, and Victoria rail journey, which is pretty amazing. You figure might as well, you're in Seattle. Why not go across the border and visit 2 of Western Canada's most beautiful cities of Vancouver and Victoria? Really amazing. And keep in mind too, perhaps maybe you have a dream trip in mind, but we might not necessarily offer it. Keep in mind that all of our trips can be tailor-made, and you can put together your dream rail vacation and make it become a reality. So with all that said, everybody, let's hop right into the Grand Canyon. As I mentioned, it's one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. It is the most visited national park here in the United States, and it's our most popular year-round national park that we offer through Amtrak Vacations. And the best part is the train can bring you directly to where you want to be for the Grand Canyon. Now, I want to show this map because this is pretty important. This is the Grand Canyon Village, which is located on the side of the South Rim. This is really the spot to be for anything and any visit to the Grand Canyon, as there's tons of things to see and tons of things to do. There's tons of hotel accommodations up there, as well as there's several really neat attractions as well, such as the Hopi House, which was actually built in 1905. And it's meant to look like a Hopi pueblo. And inside they do art demonstrations where local Hopi artisans do art demonstrations, and they sell their crafts as well. It's really fantastic. As well as up there, you got the Lookout Studio, which overlooks the South Rim. It offers some really amazing vantage points and viewing spots for the South Rim, as well as you got one of my favorite spots up there. It's the Buckley O'Neill cabin. It's actually the oldest structure up at the South Rim. It's actually a National Registered Historical Landmark, and what it is Buckley O'Neill was actually a member of Teddy Roosevelt's Rough Riders, and he actually built his cabin right on the side of the South Rim, and this is the oldest structure up there. Now, how do you get up to the Grand Canyon Village? Well, you could drive, but that's not as fun. Why not we take the Grand Canyon Railway? The Grand Canyon Railway is amazing, and it's included in almost every single one of our rail vacations to the Grand Canyon. And I love it because it adds another train experience to a train vacations. Not only will you get the Amtrak experience, but you get that classic antique steam train experience as well. And there's a reason why this train has been operational for over 110 years. It actually passes through the largest ponderosa forest in the state of Arizona. Now, one really fun fact that I like about the Grand Canyon Railway is the power for the steam engine. It comes from rainwater that fills the boilers, as well as it comes from recycled vegetable oil from restaurants nearby to the South Rim. It's pretty exciting. Now, before and after and during your journey on the Grand Canyon Railway, there's some really fantastic entertainment. So beforehand, before you board the Grand Canyon Railway in the morning, it generally departs this Williams, Arizona at about 9:30 in the morning. Beforehand, they actually put on a Wild West shootout, which it could actually be seen on the top right. They do them really fitting for the area, and they get you pretty excited before you hop on board the Grand Canyon Railway. On the way up, if you look at the top left and the bottom right, you see the musicians. On the way up and on the way back to and from the South Rim on the Grand Canyon Railway, they do often have live music entertainment of people that are singing Wild West songs as well as American folk songs. And then one of my favorite parts is on the return. If you look at the bottom left, you see the bandits. Yes, they do a Wild West train heist on the way home. Now, of course, it's not real. It's all for fun. And it's really exciting because it just puts you fitting into the area and makes you feel like you're truly in the Wild West. Now, probably the first hotel you probably will stay in on our vacation package at the Grand Canyon is the Grand Canyon Railway Hotel, which is located in the Wild West town of Williams, Arizona. This hotel is fantastic, and it really is the starting point for the Grand Canyon Railway. So this hotel can be seen, it really is the gateway to the Grand Canyon. This property is fantastic. It's actually completely train themed, and a lot of great things to be seen in there. And the cool thing is, actually, about a year and a half ago, they dropped several $1 million into renovations and modernizations, so it's looking better than ever. And the neat thing is, it's just a short walk away from the Williams Center, which is really neat as well. It really is like stepping into the Wild West. It's a really neat western little town. Now, after we spend time in the Grand Canyon Railway, we then usually hop onto the Grand Canyon Railway, and we take that up to the South Rim. Now, when we get up to the South Rim, one of the most popular places to stay up at the South Rim is the El Tovar, which is probably one of the most majestic lodges in any of our national parks. It was built in 1905, and the best part about the El Tovar is it's situated right on the edge of the South Rim. It's absolutely fantastic. Architecture was actually designed by Charles Frederick Whitsley, which is actually really impressive as well. He designed a lot of the different national park lodges as well. And this hotel is fantastic, and I will share that the El Tovar has one of the only gourmet dining experiences that's located in any of our national parks. In fact, it's really amazing because you'll have a fantastic meal, but along with your meal, you're going to have some absolutely breathtaking views of the Grand Canyon South Rim as you eat. It's really a wonderful experience. Now, maybe you don't want to necessarily stay at the El Tovar. Not to worry, we also do work with some of the other famous lodges up there. Is the Bright Angel Lodge, which was built in 1935, as well as the Thunderbird Lodge, which is another fantastic property, as well as the Maswick Lodge, which is ideally situated right in the middle of the Grand Canyon South Rim. Now, while we're up at the South Rim, almost every single one of our Grand Canyon packages includes a Motorcoach Rim Tour, which will highlight a lot of the famous sites of the Grand Canyon South Rim and the Grand Canyon Village. It's about an hour-and-a-half tour, and it does 3 different stops along the South Rim that offer some really premier viewing opportunities of the Grand Canyon. So I know I've been mentioning a lot about this Grand Canyon and things to do, but what about the packages? So let's hop right into that. And the first we're going to go over is one of our most popular trips, our Grand Canyon Explorer. I love this trip, and it's been incredibly popular over the past several years. And the reason why is not only do you get to experience the Grand Canyon, but you get to experience some of the best of the America's Southwest. So this trip, for example, we start off in Albuquerque, New Mexico, doing one night in a downtown Albuquerque hotel. The next day, you all will wake up, hop aboard Amtrak's Southwest Chief, and do a really quick train from Albuquerque up to Santa Fe, New Mexico. When we get into Santa Fe, we're going to do 2 nights in a downtown Santa Fe hotel. While we're in Santa Fe, we are going to have a guided historical walking tour of Santa Fe, which will highlight a lot of the famous sites that Santa Fe is famous for, from the Pueblo Indians to the Spaniards to the modern history. Santa Fe's walking tour is amazing. Highly recommend it. And also, Santa Fe has some of the best restaurants I probably have ever been to, so highly recommend taking the opportunity to enjoy some of the dining up at Santa Fe. Once our fun in Santa Fe is all said and done, we are then going to hop aboard the Amtrak Southwest Chief into a couple-hour-long train from Santa Fe to Williams, Arizona, where we arrive later that evening. In Williams, we are going to do one night at the Grand Canyon Railway Hotel. The next morning, you will hop aboard the Grand Canyon Railway, take that from Williams up to the south rim of the Grand Canyon. When we get up to the south rim of the Grand Canyon, we are met by that motor coach so we can have that guided tour of the Grand Canyon South Rim. And then we'll spend 2 nights up at the South Rim in one of the lodges in the Grand Canyon Village, perhaps the El Tovar, the Maswick Lodge, the Thunderbird, or the Bright Angel. Once our fun in the South Rim is done, we will then take a private transfer, which will transfer you from the South Rim down to Flagstaff, Arizona. When we get into Flagstaff, we are going to do 2 nights in a Route 66 hotel. Now, while we're in Flagstaff, we will get a full-day guided Jeep tour of Sedona, which is amazing. It'll pick you up right at your hotel and drive you down to Sedona, and you'll get a full-day tour of Sedona, where you'll see the painted deserts, the painted red rocks, and those beautiful southwestern landscapes that Sedona is famous for. So you'll be able to experience that firsthand. And then once our 2 nights in Flagstaff are done, you'll then check out of your hotel and you'll be able to head back home or continue to your next destination. So this package right here is 9 days, 8 nights. We get the walking tour of Santa Fe. We get one way on board the Grand Canyon Railway. We get the motorcoach tour of the South Rim. We get the guided Jeep tour of Sedona out of Flagstaff. Overall, it's 8 nights hotel and one way on board Amtrak. Now, this is not any overnights on board the train, so you don't actually need to upgrade to the sleepers on this one. Now, I'm very excited to share this next package with you. And I know it does not include the Grand Canyon, but I had to include it as I am beyond excited for this. Guess what, folks? We got our Grand National Parks of the Southwest. Brand new package for us. In fact, it includes 3 brand new destinations for us, 3 brand new national parks, featuring Zion, Bryce, and Capitol Reef National Parks. So this trip, for example, we do the overnight train from Chicago to Grand Junction, Colorado. When we get into Grand Junction, we are going to do one night in a centrally located hotel right in Grand Junction. The next day, you'll get up. You'll then hop aboard a sightseeing transfer, which is going to bring you from Grand Junction, Colorado, down to Springdale, Utah. Now, while you're en route to Springdale, Utah, you're going to do sightseeing of Arches, Canyonlands, and Zion National Parks. 3 different national parks en route down to Springdale. When we get down to Springdale, we'll do one night in a centrally located hotel in Springdale, Utah. The next morning, we'll then take that transfer sightseeing tour back to Grand Junction, and en route from Grand Junction back to Grand Junction, you'll do a sightseeing tour of Bryce Canyon and Capitol Reef National Parks. And then you'll do one night in Grand Junction, Colorado, and then the next day, you'll hop aboard the Amtrak California Zephyr and do the overnight train back to Chicago. This trip is 6 days, 5 nights. We get sightseeing tour of Arches, Canyonlands, Zion, Bryce, and Capitol Reef National Parks. You get round-trip Amtrak and coach accommodations from Chicago to Grand Junction, Colorado, as well as round-trip transfers from Grand Junction to Springdale. This trip is 3 nights hotel, 2 nights on board the train, and yes, those 2 nights on the train are in coach accommodations, which we can absolutely upgrade to the sleepers, where you'll get a private room with beds, shower access, and your meals on the train will be included. So let's continue to our most popular Grand Canyon package for folks coming out of the West Coast. For those that are coming out of the West Coast, this is the ideal trip for you. It is our Rails to the Grand Canyon. This is incredibly popular. Now, what this is, you'll do the overnight train from Los Angeles to Williams, Arizona, overnight train on the Southwest Chief. We arrive into Williams the following morning. When we get into Williams, we'll switch right over to the Grand Canyon Railway, which we will take up to the South Rim. When we get up to the South Rim, we're met by that motor coach, and we get that guided tour of the Grand Canyon South Rim. And then we spend 2 nights up in the Grand Canyon Village, right up in one of the lodges. Once our fun in the South Rim is all said and done, we then hop aboard the Grand Canyon Railway, take that back down to Williams, and then we'll board an evening train, an overnight train in Williams back to Los Angeles. 5 days, 4 nights. We get round trip and coach accommodations on board the Grand Canyon Railway. We get 2 nights hotel, 2 nights on board the train. We get that Motorcoach Freedom Tour as well once we're up at the South Rim. Overall, it's 5 days, 4 nights. Those 2 nights on the train are in coach accommodations, which you can absolutely once again upgrade to the sleepers. So keep that in mind. Now, for my folks coming from maybe the Midwest or any points east of the Grand Canyon, this is the perfect trip for you. It's our Grand Canyon Getaway. Now, this trip can be picked up to come out of anywhere in the United States, but it's really meant for folks coming out east of the Grand Canyon in Arizona. So this trip, we do 2 nights in Williams. We do 1 night at the beginning up in Williams at the Grand Canyon Railway Hotel. We then take the Grand Canyon Railway the next morning from Williams up to the South Rim, where we'll have that motor coach tour, and then we'll spend 1 night up in the Grand Canyon Village. And then on the back end, we'll take the Grand Canyon Railway back down to Williams, do 1 more night in Williams at the Grand Canyon Railway Hotel. Now, I will recommend, a lot of people for this trip will usually add a 4th night, doing a 2nd night up at the South Rim, perhaps maybe to do one of the wonderful hiking tours, wildlife tours, or maybe maybe one of the wonderful tours that National Park Services offers, or even what we offer, a really great, if you're for those that are adventurous, a really great helicopter tour of the Grand Canyon South Rim. Now, maybe you want a long tour. Maybe you want a bigger package that maybe visits not just the Grand Canyon, but a few other ideal national parks, really amazing national parks. We'll say no more. We got our grand national parks, Yellowstone, Yosemite, and the Grand Canyon. Now, this trip we introduced last year for summer 2017, and since then it has been by far one of our top packages that we have to offer to anyone. Because A, you visit some of the most iconic national parks here in the U.S., and B, you utilize some of the most scenic rails that Amtrak has to offer. So this trip, we start off out of Chicago doing the overnight train on the California Zephyr from Chicago to Salt Lake City, where we arrive the following evening. In Salt Lake City, when we arrive the next night, we'll do 1 night in a downtown Salt Lake City hotel. The next morning, you will hop aboard the Salt Lake Express, which is a motor coach transfer, which will take you from Salt Lake City up to West Yellowstone, Montana. Now, when we get up to West Yellowstone, we will do 2 nights in one of the lodges up in West Yellowstone. And on your free day in West Yellowstone, you'll get a full day guided tour of Yellowstone National Park's lower loop. Now, I can tell you firsthand, I just did this tour about a month ago, and it was tremendous. The amount of scenery you'll see and the amount of wildlife you'll see is crazy. In fact, for wildlife, I saw probably over 100 bison. I saw a pack of 11 wolves. Yes, I counted 11 wolves. I saw 2 coyotes. I saw 2 bald eagles. I saw an endless amount of elk. It was really tremendous. And the other cool thing is all the scenery that you'll see. So, for instance, you'll go over to Artist Point, and you'll be able to see that at the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone. You'll see the painted pots. And of course, you'll see the Old Faithful Geyser erupt. In fact, it is guaranteed on this tour you will see the Old Faithful Geyser erupt, which was really, really amazing. Once our fun in Yellowstone is all said and done, we'll then take the Salt Lake Express back down to Salt Lake City, and then we'll hop aboard an evening train, an overnight train on Amtrak's California Zephyr, where we arrive into San Francisco the following afternoon. In San Francisco, we're going to do 2 nights in a downtown San Francisco hotel, and while we are there, we're going to have a full day guided motor coach tour to Yosemite National Park. Now, you won't have to worry about getting yourselves to and from the park. The tour will pick you up, drive you out to the park, and you get a full day comprehensive tour of the Yosemite Valley. After our stay in San Francisco and Yosemite are all said and done, we're then going to hop aboard Amtrak's most scenic route. In fact, it's been voted the most scenic train in North America the past 3 years. That's right, we're hopping on the Coast Starlight. And we're going to leave San Francisco in the morning time, and we are going to arrive into Los Angeles, California later that evening. Now, when we get into Los Angeles, we'll do 1 night in a downtown Los Angeles hotel. then the next morning and afternoon, you will have a guided sightseeing tour of Los Angeles, a city tour that will highlight a lot of the famous sites that Los Angeles is known for. So you'll be able to see Hollywood, where you'll see the Grauman's Chinese Theater and the Hollywood Walk of Fame. You'll go up into Hollywood and the Beverly Hills and the Hollywood Hills. It's a really tremendous site, so really, really great. After our tour in Los Angeles is done that evening, we will then hop aboard the Amtrak Southwest Chief and do the overnight train from Los Angeles to Williams, Arizona, where we arrive the following morning. When we get into Williams, we'll switch right over to the Grand Canyon to the Grand Canyon Railway, and we'll take that from Williams up to the south rim of the Grand Canyon. When we get to the south rim, we'll have that guided motor coach tour of the south rim, and then we'll spend one night up in one of the lodges in the Grand Canyon Village. After our stay in the Grand Canyon Village is done, we'll take the Grand Canyon Railway back down to Williams. We'll end the trip in Williams at one night at the Grand Canyon Railway Hotel. And then the next morning, you will hop aboard the Amtrak Southwest Chief and do the overnight train back to Chicago. So this trip is 13 days, 12 nights. It's quite a lengthy one. While we're there, while we're in Yellowstone, we get a full-day guided sightseeing tour of Yellowstone National Park's lower loop. We get a sightseeing tour of Yosemite National Park out of San Francisco. We get a sightseeing city tour of Los Angeles. We get round trip on board the Grand Canyon Railway. We get 8 nights hotel, 4 nights on board the train, and we also get that Motorcoach Freedom Tour as well. We get 8 nights hotel, 4 nights on board the train. Those 4 nights on the train are in coach accommodations. Once again, everybody, we already know we can upgrade to the sleepers where you'll get the private with beds, shower access, and meals on the train included. Very exciting. Now, I know I've been mentioning a lot about the Grand Canyon and all the different wonderful packages that we have to offer to bring you up there, but what about the train experience itself? So let's go over that. Well, take what you know about the airlines. First, we're going to go over luggage. Take what you know about the airlines and picture the exact opposite, because the luggage policy on Amtrak is probably by far the most generous in the travel industry. Each passenger is allowed 2 pieces of carry-on luggage up to 50 pounds each bag, 2 pieces of check-in luggage up to 50 pounds each bag, as well as a personal item. So figure along the lines of a laptop bag, briefcase, backpack, pocketbook, purse, or even a small duffel bag. This is standard on board Amtrak, and the best part about it is it can all be checked in up to 45 minutes prior to your train departure, truly making it as rush-free and as hassle-free as possible for you. Good luck trying to find this all in the airlines, and if you do, let me know, because I think most airlines at this point are charging for even just one checked bag. This is standard on board Amtrak. Now, I know I've been mentioning a lot about the train and sleepers and coach, but what exactly does that all mean? So let's hop right into that. And the first thing I want to go over is coach seating, which, as you can see, is a pretty standard seat on board the train. But take what you know about airplane seating and picture the exact opposite, because coach seating on Amtrak is actually comfortable. The seats themselves are typically double the size of your standard airplane seat. They recline at a 45-degree angle, and they also have a leg rest as well. And the leg room is uncomparable. In fact, last year I traveled with one of my colleagues who's 6'6". He could fully stretch his legs out and still have room to spare. Good luck finding that on an airline, and if you do, you're going to once again be paying quite the premium. This is standard on board the train. Now, coach seating is great. However, meals are not included, and neither is shower access. If you're doing a night or more on board the train, you're probably going to want to eat, and you're probably going to want to take a shower. So where do we go from there? We upgrade to the roomettes. The roomettes are by far the most popular type of sleeper on board the train. During the day, there's 2 big seats that face each other with a big picture window in between and a fold-out table in between. At night, the 2 seats convert to the lower bed, and right above where this lady's head is, the top bed pulls down. Now, one thing I do want to make note with the roomettes is your meals are absolutely included. However, the bathrooms and showers are located just down the hall. And yes, they are private but shared. So yes, you will be sharing them with the rest of the people that have roommate accommodations in the same car, but it's private. Once you're in there, you're in there. There's a lock on the door. It's not like a college dormitory where people are coming in and out. And the neat thing is it's a full-size bathroom with a full-size shower. Now, maybe you'll say, Nick, this sounds great, but is there a way I can get my own bathroom in room? Yes, we can upgrade you to the bedrooms. The bedrooms are a little bit bigger than the roomettes, and it's a bit of a different setup. So during the day, it's more of a sofa-style seating, like where that gentleman is sitting, on the extra captain's chair as well, where the lady is sitting. At night, that sofa-style seating converts to the lower bed, and right above where this gentleman's head is, the top bed pulls down. Now, the bedrooms do absolutely still include your meals and all the amenities that the roomettes include, such as coffee and tea whenever you wanted, bottles of water, turn-down service, as well as fresh linens like sheets, towels, pillows, blankets, things of the sorts like that. But the bedrooms do have a private toilet, sink, and shower in room for your use and your use alone when you have the bedroom accommodations. Now's the moment we've all been waiting for. I know I've been mentioning a lot about meals included and dining and things like that, but what exactly does this all mean? Well, we're going to pick on the airlines once again. Take what you know about airplane food and picture the exact opposites. The food on Amtrak is actually delicious. In fact, you would be amazed at the quality of meals that's served on board the train. I'm talking about for breakfast, for example, there's pancakes and waffles, bacon and eggs, omelets. For lunch, there's juicy cheeseburgers, grilled chicken salads, pasta dishes. For dinner, there's fish, there's chicken, and of course, there's Amtrak's main dish, which you can see right on your screen, the Amtrak signature steak, which I can tell you firsthand. I've had it 2 nights in a row once, absolutely loved it, and I know you all will too. The whole process about dining on board the train is really lovely. As soon as you board the train, the dining car attendant will come by, set up reservation times that you want to eat your meals. When it's time to eat, you head down to the dining car, take a seat in one of these big, comfortable booths with a white linen tablecloth layout, and you get to order off a menu and from a server like you would at a restaurant. So really, if you think about it, Amtrak isn't just transportation. It really isn't. It's a hotel, a restaurant, and sightseeing all on rails, and it's all rolled up into one amazingly unique experience that you're all going to love. We've barely scratched the surface of really what we can offer to you all. If you pay a visit to our website at amtrakvacations.com, it'll bring you here. While you're on amtrakvacations.com, there's a couple different ways you can navigate through and see all of our different packages and options for you all. So one way is to hover over the destinations tab where that red arrow is pointing. That will drop down and you can navigate through by destination, see all the packages we have to offer. Or you can utilize this middle section where you can search by destination, by specific train routes, by top stations, and your geographic area. And while you're on our website, please feel free to utilize this section, the trip planning section, where that red arrow is pointing. There's going to be a lot of valuable and helpful information for you all in regards to all sorts of different things, from meals to dining, to accessibility and special needs, to luggage guidelines, as well as on board the train. In fact, if you go on our website and click on that on board the train part, that will bring you to a section where you can see all about what it's like to be in the rooms and on the train. There's actually an area on our website under that tab that's our virtual experience, where you can actually get 360-degree views of every single room and car on board the train, and it really gives you first-person perspective of what it's like. Now, how do you book with Amtrak Vacations? You can give us a call at 1-800-268-7252. One of our amazing vacations consultants will be more than happy to help you plan your rail vacation. You can book through the website at amtrakvacations.com, or what I always recommend and what I always do, give a call or pay a visit to your local travel agent. I've been in the travel industry for over 10 years, and I still utilize my travel agent for all my personal travel. I love them. I think they're one of the best resources out there, and they really have your best interest when it comes to your personal vacations, and they're there to help provide your dream rail vacation packages. So keep this in mind. Also, things to keep in mind: we have some really great everyday discounts as well. If you're traveling with any children ages 2 to 12, the children get themselves 50% off the package price of the Amtrak Vacations package. If you're a senior traveler age 65 and over, you get yourself 10% off the rail portion of an Amtrak Vacations package, the rail portion of it, as well as if you're active duty military, you, your spouse, and your dependents get a 10% discount off the rail portion of an Amtrak Vacations package, just as a thank you for your service. As well as keep in mind, everybody, our pre-Black Friday sale going on. It's good till Saturday, but you definitely don't want to wait on this, as it's really a fantastic promotion. If you book a package that's 6 to 8 nights long, you automatically get $200 off per couple. Or if you book a package that's 9 or more nights longer, you get a $500 discount per couple. You won't want to miss it on this. I can tell you the phones have been ringing off the hook. And don't forget to download the handout where that top arrow is pointing. It's actually going to have a lot of that great information on the pre-Black Friday sale on there. As well as if you have any questions at all, please feel free to input those questions now. I'm going to answer those in just a moment, where it's where that bottom arrow is pointing on the right-hand side where your GoToWebinar control panel is. But before I answer any of these questions, before we wrap it up for today, I have to pick a winner of a $100 Amtrak Vacations gift card. And today's lucky winner of the Amtrak Vacations gift card is going to be, drum roll, it's going to be Kevin Boatwright. Congratulations, Kevin. Awesome job. And for the rest of you, hey, keep asking those questions. I'll be more than happy to answer those questions. And in fact, let me scroll to the top because I've seen a ton of questions come through. Let's see. I see here from Peggy, want to know what kind of transportation from Lemaine to Santa Fe. I heard there was no staff there, only volunteers, and there's no shuttle. Yes, it is a shuttle bus between Lemaine, New Mexico, and Santa Fe. Because the train doesn't go directly into Santa Fe. Amtrak does do one of their Amtrak Thruway services, which is only a quick little shuttle transfer. It's not too long at all, actually. It's only a matter of like, I think 15, 20 minutes. Let's see, Gail, are the meals pre-made or customizable, i.e. rice for potatoes, etc.? Yes, you could absolutely do that, especially say if you like a food allergy. I can tell you just let your server know, or if you have like food dislikes, just let your server know and they can do their best to substitute, whether it be a potato for like rice or something of the sorts like that, most definitely. Kate, let's see. Kate has questions about if travel agents get any special promotions. Yes, you absolutely do. You would just want to give us a call and we can absolutely go over that with you. Gary, originating in Dallas for the Grand Canyon tours, what is the route taken through Chicago? Yes, that would be honestly the best bet coming out of like the Dallas area. You would take the Texas Eagle from overnight train from Dallas up to Chicago. Then you change trains in Chicago. Then you do the overnight train down to Arizona. It's the same on the way back as well. I see Kevin's here. There are transfers required from Flagstaff to Williams, Grand Canyon to Flagstaff, and LeMay to Santa. These are included automatically? Yes, they absolutely are. Great question, Kevin. No, that's a really good question. Yes, they are included. Any more questions, anyone? These are some good ones so far. Yes, Gary. Is a passport needed if trip crosses Canadian border? Yes, you would need at least a passport, an enhanced driver's license, or one of the passport cards. Most definitely, because you are crossing borders. Any more questions? Sharon, traveling alone, is there a surcharge? Not necessarily a surcharge, but it is going to be a little bit more than the per person price based on double occupancy because you're still paying for the hotel rooms and the space on the train. But it is not like, I know it's like the cruise lines do like a single supplement, for example. We don't do that. It would be like the prices you saw today on the slides. It's going to be a little bit more than that. Gary, what does that mean? So the DL is enough. Mary, can you fit any lug? Oh, Gary, yes. Gary, if you have in one of the enhanced driver's licenses, which I know a lot of the border states, like I know Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, New York, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Minnesota, Wisconsin, they all have the enhanced driver's license. I know it's a lot of the border states that have the enhanced driver's license. Yes, that is acceptable. Mary, can you fit any luggage in the roomette? Not so much. They are quite comfortable. They're quite not small, but they definitely wouldn't accommodate like a big piece of luggage. What I always recommend with the roommates, if you want anything, bring like a small duffel bag with the things you want to be able to access offhand. So whether it be your toiletries, medication, phone charger, a change of clothes, pajamas, whatever it might be, I would recommend the things you'd want to bring offhand. So definitely would suggest that. That would be my recommendation. I have a question here from Michael asking about coming out of northern Georgia and trying to go out to visit the Grand Canyon. Well, if you were trying to do it completely by rail, Michael, I would say probably the closest station from northern Georgia, you'd probably want to leave out of like Gainesville or Toccoa or even maybe like Clemson, South Carolina. You can't always leave out of as well as you can leave out of Atlanta. I mean, what a lot of people will do from like the northern Georgia area is maybe even take a flight from there to Chicago and then do the train. But if you want to do the train all the way through, Gainesville, Toccoa, and Atlanta are probably your best bets. Let's see, Kay, what is your largest room for sleeping? The bedrooms. The bedrooms, as well as there's family bedrooms that are for 2 adults, 2 small children. Sharon, does the railroad move your luggage to the hotel when you arrive? No, you are responsible for transporting your own luggage, as this is not an escorted trip. Kay, is that available only on long distance trips? Is what available on long distance trips is only the rooms, or what's the Let me know, Kay, and I'll be able to answer that question. I don't really understand what you're asking for. Oh yes, so the largest bedroom, those are available on all the long distance routes. So anywhere where the sleeping accommodations are available, there is the bedrooms available for you. They are on the long distance routes. Felipe, if you're traveling coach, how do you get a reservation on the dining car? They will come to you in the observation or in coach seating to set up your times. Now, people that do have sleeping accommodations, obviously they do have first dibs at space inside the dining car, as their meals are already included. But if you are in coach, you absolutely can utilize the dining car. They'll come through and set up reservation times that you want to eat. Your meals would just be out of pocket. Sharon, cash bar on train hours. Yes, there is a cash bar in the cafe car, which is the lower level of the observation car, where they do sell beer, wine, and spirits. It usually runs from, I believe, like 10 or 11 in the morning till about midnight. Michael, since I live in central Illinois, can I catch the train from Galesburg? Yes, you sure can. I can tell you the Southwest Chief runs right through Galesburg because I've done that myself. Yes, Kay, the bedroom is the large room that has a sofa-style seating and extra captain's chair as well, and it has a private toilet, sink, and shower in room. Those are the biggest rooms on board the train. Sharon, there's the question. Sharon, you win the gold star for me personally today. You win my gold star because I was waiting for it. Can you bring your own wine on aboard the train? Yes, yes, yes. In fact, folks, it is another added benefit of having the sleeping accommodation. You can bring on board your own liquor. Beer, wine, and spirits are all allowed to bring on board the train when you have your own sleeper. There's a catch, though. The catch is you cannot bring them out into the public areas. You have to only enjoy them in the comfort of your own room. So you can bring your own beer, wine, and spirits, just have to enjoy them in the room. You can't bring them out into coach seating, to the dining car, as well as to the observation car, unfortunately. If you did want to have a drink, say in the observation car, what I can tell you is they do serve liquor in the like I said, in the cafe car. What I always like to do, because it's right below, the cafe car is right below the observation car, and they sell beer, wine, spirits, but they also sell soft drinks, and they also sell snacks like chips and candy and smaller sandwiches and slices of pizza and hamburgers and hot dogs and things like that, like lighter fare. What I always like to do is I like to go down there, get myself a glass of wine, red to be specific, and then I head up to the observation car. I open up shop in one of the comfortable seats, and I sit there and I sip my wine. I put my headphones on and I listen to music and watch the country pass before my eyes. It's one of my favorite things to do when I travel, especially by rail, as it's really peaceful. So I always recommend that. That's a fantastic question, Sharon. Thank you so much. I see you agree. That is awesome. Any more questions, anyone? You guys may have taken over better questions than the first session today, I must say. These are some good ones. Just out of curiosity, out of the folks that are here, how many of you have you been to the Grand Canyon before? If so, input them into the questions box. There we go. Michael's been to the Grand Canyon. Gary has yet to. Gail is yet to. We got to get you guys to the Grand Canyon to take the train out there. Same with Sharon. We need to get you guys to the Grand Canyon. Now's your chance. We have this wonderful promotion going on. It's really wonderful. I can tell you, I've done that train myself, the Southwest Chief. I did it in its entirety. And the scenery is unbelievable, especially when you're going through southern Colorado, New Mexico, and Arizona. The scenery is beautiful. Mary's been there in the 70s. We got to get you back. It's pretty awesome. Michael's been to the North Rim. Let's see. Kevin's been to the Grand Canyon several times, but has never been via Amtrak. Well, they go hand in hand. National parks and the train travel really go hand in hand. The train enhances any national park vacation. Because think about it. You're not only admiring the beauty of the national parks, but you also get to see beautiful scenery from the train during your journey. Kate, that's being from the Northeast. Sharon, the best time of year to go to the Grand Canyon, I always recommend the fall time, like around September, October, or the early spring, like April or May. I always recommend those because you get to think about it. A lot of less families are traveling as kids are back in school and things like that. The weather's a little bit milder, and it's just you'll usually get better rates during that time of year anyways. Mary just booked the All-American for January. It looks like the Grand Canyon will be next. Awesome. The All-American package is amazing, by the way. You're going to have an absolute blast on that, Mary. Michael went to the Grand Canyon when he was a child. Other Michael. This is a question. Is South Rim where the horseshoe thing is extends out over the canyon? No. That is up at the North Rim, which we do not do. To be completely honest, the North Rim, aside from that, it's either the North or the West Rim has that. To be honest with you, the South Rim is really where you want to be for the Grand Canyon, because that's where there's the most things to do, and there's also the best scenery at the South Rim. Hence why we only do the South Rim. Susan, how do you get your luggage to the hotels, and where do we get prices? You would be responsible for transporting your luggage to and from the hotels with yourself. Usually a quick little taxi is the best way to get to and from. What I would recommend for prices is call that number on your screen, or give a call or pay a visit to your local travel agent to get some live prices for our vacation packages. Gail, are there any tours of the Grand Canyon as a whole, not just the South Rim? Unfortunately, we only work with the South Rim because that's really the worthwhile area of the Grand Canyon. That's, like I said, where it's where the action is, if in better ways to put it. It's really where some of the best scenery, attractions, and things to do are for the Grand Canyon. Also, it's the largest part of the Grand Canyon, as well as the South Rim. I think I have time for maybe one more. So who wants to ask the last question? There we go. Gary is. So is it on the traveler to get from the train station to any hotel? Yes, it is, Gary. I will say sometimes, like for instance, the Grand Canyon, we do handle the transfers for you, just because there is the shuttle that brings you to the Grand Canyon Railway Hotel. But usually, like say in cities, for example, take for instance like Los Angeles or Chicago. Yes, you would be responsible for your own transportation. Usually people will just hop a quick taxi, or maybe if you're into the whole ride sharing thing like Uber or Lyft, you'll be able to do that. In some cities, for example, there's a way to some hotels, do offer shuttle transportation in some of the cities we work with, so you always should look into that. As well as, even like in New York City, for example, I can tell you there's one of the main hotels we work with in New York is right across the street from the train station. So some of the times too, you can go to and from by foot to and from your hotel. All right, I got a couple more. I'll ask these last three, and then we gotta call it a day. So I got a question here from Susan asking, is there a way to do laundry on the train? Unfortunately, no. I wish there was, because that would make life a whole heck of a lot convenient. But unfortunately, no. There is no laundry facilities on the train. But in a lot of the hotels we do work with that you'd be staying in, a lot of them do have laundry facilities, so you can always do that. Mary, does travel agents like AAA or any other travel agents offer same promotions like the Black Friday deal? Well, you could utilize this Black Friday deal through your local travel agent, so keep that in mind. And it doesn't necessarily have to be AAA. It could be any type of travel agent. You'll be able to book through Amtrak Vacations and utilize that Black Friday deal. Sharon, this is the last question of the day. When you arrive, how long do you wait for luggage? Matter of minutes. It's not like the airlines where, sometimes that could take up to like 20, 30 minutes to wait for your luggage to come. With Amtrak, nope. It usually comes within a matter of 5 to 10 minutes. So I do want to take the time to thank all of you for today for joining me. I really appreciate you all taking time out of your busy afternoons to learn a little bit about what we have going on with Amtrak Vacations, with the Grand Canyon, and all the wonderful packages and information that we have for all of you. I just want to thank you all sincerely. Thank you. We do these every 2 weeks, these presentations. So we are doing our next one. It's going to be 2 weeks from today. It's going to be on the 28th of November, so 2 Wednesdays from now, and that's going to be our next part of our National Park series. And that one's going to be on Yellowstone National Park, Yosemite National Park, and beyond. So hopefully you all will be able to join us for that one and learn a little bit about those parks. So if you do want to go ahead and look into any options or book any of these wonderful trips and take advantage of that wonderful pre-Black Friday sale, give us a call at that number on your screen, or give a call or pay a visit to your local travel agent. They'll be ecstatic to see you. I'll be ecstatic. Everyone will be happy, and you'll have an amazing trip with Amtrak Vacation. So I just want to thank you all for joining me once again. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great rest of your week. And if I don't talk to any of you, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving. Thank you all so much. I hope to chat with you all soon. Until next time, everybody, take care. Bye-bye.